Hi, everybody. It's Laura. And I just finished writing the episode, and I love it. So we're going to go right in and tape it now. And I will get it up as soon as possible. I hope you're all well. Where we left you last week, Cynthia finds her house has been taken over by a lot of people who are terribly drunk, and she has no idea what's gone on. So hopefully in this episode, we're going to find out what happened at the Schylers' house last night. So hang on and have fun. Episode 11. Is everything okay? Cynthia backed away from Mrs. Watson, feeling behind her for the doorway to her bedroom. She did not dare take her eyes off this angry woman, this angry, stoned woman. She called her mother a bitch. Her mother was the nicest woman in the world. Everybody said so. Mrs. Watson's usual imperious expression reappeared. I did not intend to alarm you, Cynthia. She nodded toward Cynthia's door. Amelia is in there. I hope you don't mind. I required her room. Cynthia still had not moved. Once she'd been chased along the river by a ferocious dog. She had stood frozen, just like she was now. The dog had snarled and barked at her a couple of times, and then suddenly went trotting off to wherever he had come from. She wished Mrs. Watson would do the same. I assume you have seen the deplorable state of your parents and my husband. Cynthia bristled. Mr. Gagliardi's under the dining room table. Why did she say that? I hit back. There was only one bitch around here, and it wasn't her mother. Mrs. Watson pressed her left hand to her chest. Her diamond and platinum wedding band was still there, as was her big diamond, her engagement ring, set in sapphires. Cynthia had coveted that ring since she was a little girl. The gems sparkled. I shouldn't have said what I did about your mother, Cynthia. I understand from Amelia you are very close to her. Cynthia nodded. The apology was not accepted. Go to bed, Cynthia, Mrs. Watson said, taking a deep breath and looking around. Morning shall be here soon enough. Go, she said, moving down the hall. Good night. Wait, that's my parents' room. Yes, I know, Mrs. Watson said. She gave Cynthia a little wave and closed the door. What was she doing? Oh, great. Now what? Cynthia went into the guest room to look around. One of Mimi's suitcases was packed and sitting next to the door. The other lay open on the bed. Cynthia sniffed. The room reeked of pot. She walked into the bathroom, looked around, and turned on the exhaust fan. This had to be the end of the world, Cynthia thought, or she was beneath the planet of the apes. She went into her room. Mimi was lying on top of her double bed, snoring, her hands neatly folded on her stomach. Cynthia walked over, turned on her bedside lamp, and heard something across the room. An album was turning on her stereo, the needle writing the label. Who knew how long this had been going on? She used the cue lever to lift the tone arm and put it back on the rest. The album was Imagine. She turned off the stereo and walked back to her bed. Despite the light falling over her dreadfully swollen face, Mimi had not stirred. Cynthia touched her shoulder. Memes, wake up. Huh? Oh, you're home, Mimi mumbled, struggling to sit up. What time is it? Almost 4, Cynthia told her. Everybody's passed out downstairs, and I came up here and I found your mother smoking pot in the guest room. Oh, sorry. I told her not to. Well, she did, and the whole house reeks. And she just called my mother a bitch. She's pretty bad at your mom. Your mom went into our house with Daddy and surprised Mother. They did? Why? I don't know, but they got her out of bed and brought her here to talk everything out. But Mother did not want to be here. She was mad. And your mother was mad. She gave me a bowl of ice cream and sent me upstairs so I couldn't hear what was going on. I kept hoping you'd come home. Mother and Daddy started yelling at each other, but then I guess Mother had a couple of drinks and felt better because she came upstairs later and told me to go into your room because it was rated out and she and Daddy wanted to use my room to talk. I saw her take a joint out of her pocket of her nightie and I told her not to smoke it. Your mother smokes pot? Mimi nodded. Uh-huh. She usually smokes it and stares at a painting for a couple of hours. Daddy says it's from her beatnik days. Is Daddy up here? He's down in the living room, sleeping straight up in a chair, face to the ceiling. She demonstrated his position. Oh, he's going to get a crick. And Mr. Gagliardi's asleep under the dining room table. What's he doing here? He didn't come with your mother? No, they were at my house. So Mimi still didn't know. So he didn't come back with them. No, I don't know what he's doing here. Listen, Memes, your mother's in my parents' room. You've got to get her out of there. I'm scared she's going to light a fire. I do it, Mimi declared. You were eavesdropping today. You heard Daddy tell that story about the crazy artist who lit his painting on fire. She might as well admit it. Yes, I was listening. I'm sorry, Memes. I wanted to know what was going on. That's okay, Cynthia. So why didn't you guys leave? Your mother said something to Daddy that changed his mind. They were in the kitchen. When they came out, he said we weren't going. I asked him about my kitten, and he said it would have to wait. She sighed. I knew it was too good to be true. But maybe you're not leaving, Mimi. That would be good. I'm not sure, she said, lowering her eyes for a moment. She climbed off the bed. Let me go get Mother. Cynthia heard her knock on their parents' door. No answer. Mimi knocked again, louder. Cynthia thought she heard something, and then Mimi tried the door. Unlock the door, Mother. Cynthia dropped down on her bed and buried her face in her hands. How much more of this could she take? Was she going to have to go downstairs and get a can opener to stick in the doorknob lock to open it? She sat up, reconsidering. Maybe her scissors would work. She walked over to her desk, but heard her parents' door open and Mimi and Mrs. Watson talking in low voices. Cynthia tried to hear, but she couldn't make anything out. She yawned. She was dead tired. Mimi appeared in the doorway. Everything's okay. We're going into my room now to go to sleep. Unless somebody wakes up and could take Mother home. It's raining out and she doesn't want to get her hair wet. Cynthia saw Mrs. Watson floating past in her white muumuu. Mother, just go in, Mimi directed. She looked back at Cynthia. Sorry, but at least you have your room back. And if your parents wake up, they have theirs. Lennon records on your stereo in case you want to listen to it. Then Mimi went into the guest room and closed the door. Cynthia went into her parents' room. Everything looked as usual. Mrs. Watson might have laid down, but she hadn't messed up anything. She went to the bathroom to turn off the light, saw the medicine cabinet was open. She wouldn't know if anything was missing. Or maybe her parents had left it open. Oh, that was it. She was done. Cynthia turned off the light, went to her room, closed the door, thought a moment, and then went back to her parents' room to pick up The Female Eunuch by Germaine Greer. Her mother usually read a book a week, but this one had been kicking around for weeks, and judging by the bookmarks, she was reading parts of it again. Since it was one of the books her mother insisted she must read before Cynthia did, she thought this was a good opportunity to go ahead and start reading it. Surely there couldn't be anything more objectionable in it than what she had heard over the last 24 hours. She never did get a chance to check in with Evan. She hoped he was okay. She changed into a nightgown, brushed her teeth, and climbed into bed. She read the first sentence of the book. Women have very little idea of how much men hate them. She closed the book, put it down on the nightstand, and turned off the light, thinking, in terms of Mrs. Watson and Dr. Whitaker's first wife, it should read, women have very little idea of how much other women hate them. Darling heart, her mother said softly, there's a girl at the front door asking to see you. Your father didn't get her name. Her mother left. A girl at the door? Cynthia pulled on a robe and went downstairs. Katie Langston was on their front porch. Hi, she said with a bright smile. I'm sorry, is it too early? What time is it? Cynthia asked. 8:30 or so. No, it's okay. It wasn't okay. I've been riding my bike around, and Annabelle gave me your address. Nice house. And here's your New York Times, she added, handing it to her. It was in a plastic bag, still wet from the rain. Thanks. She looked up at the sky. It still looked like rain. Cynthia tried to think, wondering who was still here or where or what. Parents were upstairs now, right? Mimi and Mrs. Watson were upstairs, but where were Mr. Watson and Mr. Gagliardi? My parents had a party last night, she explained, and the house is sort of a mess. She leaned forward to whisper, when I came home from babysitting at 3:30, one of the guests was sleeping under the dining room table. Katie laughed. Oh, that kind of party. She leaned forward to whisper, your parents aren't swingers, are they? Oh my gosh, no, Cynthia said, laughing. Katie's hair was tied back with a piece of yarn. She was wearing a high neck halter top and shorts. She looked great. A friend of mine in California, she said, her parents were swingers, and it was, Katie widened her eyes, alarming. That marvelous laugh. My parents are not swingers, Cynthia said. Your dad looked like he was still dressed for work. He probably was. They were drinking pitchers of martinis last night. Oh, Katie said knowingly, that'll do it. Katie, I'd like to invite you in, but I'm afraid one of the neighbors might still be wandering around. There was this crazy lady smoking a joint upstairs when I got home. Your parents sure sound like swingers. Cynthia laughed again. No, really, Katie, they're not. Well, I guess I better go then, Katie said, sounding a little discouraged. She backed down a stair. Listen, I do wish I could invite you in, Cynthia said. Oh no, don't worry about it, Katie said, going down another stair. I just wanted to say hi, see where you lived. It's a nice house, nice yard, pretty view. Thanks. So, Katie, if I invite you back, you'll come? Sure. When? I don't know. Cynthia was having a hard time thinking straight. Next weekend? Okay. Friday night's the first football game. Do you want to go to that? She asked her. I have to, Katie said, if I want to ride to school. Oh, right. Teddy, Cynthia remembered. Maybe Saturday night would be better because he'll probably want you to go out after the game. Katie put her hands on her hips. I'm not dating him, Cynthia. Yet, Cynthia said. I wish I knew why you're so weird about him suddenly. Cynthia shrugged. I don't know. You do know. You just won't tell me. There's something going on. I just don't know what it is. Okay, she said, giving up. She clapped her hands once. I'm going now, so you can relax. She was tense. If I do anything tonight, Katie, do you want me to call you? Yes, please, Katie said, swinging her leg over the bike. Because I'm the new girl, remember? I don't have any friends. I don't have anything to do. She was riding a 3-gear English bike with baskets. Looked like her mother's bike. Well, what about Annabelle? Annabelle finked out on me yesterday, she exclaimed. I was all ready to go to her house after school, and then I found a note in my locker saying she had left with her brother to drive to Syracuse to see Led Zeppelin. So that's where Annabelle was during geometry yesterday. She was always like that when it came to concerts, but Katie didn't know her well enough not to take it personally. Cynthia felt bad for her. Oh, Katie, she said, going down the stairs, I'm so sorry. Annabelle isn't rational when it comes to concerts. If she had a ticket for you, trust me, she would have dragged you with her to Syracuse. When I walked into the house, Katie said, my mother wanted to know what had I said or done to offend her. I said nothing, but I don't think she believed me. I felt so dumb and pathetic, carrying my little overnight bag and everything and having nowhere to go. Oh, poor Katie, Cynthia cried, giving her a hug. She was really upset, and Cynthia didn't blame her. She stepped back, holding her by the arms. Do you want to spend the night here tonight? She nodded. I do. Okay, you're coming here tonight. I need to get things sorted with my mom and figure out what we're doing, but then I'll call you. Let's say before 2, but plan to come over around 5, okay? I feel so pathetic, Katie said again, turning away and pushing off on her bike. That didn't sound very good. Cynthia took a few steps towards the road and called, Katie, wait, come back. Katie turned her bike around. Cynthia had guessed right. She was crying. Come on, let's put your bike in the garage and we'll go inside for a while. I don't know what's wrong with me, she said, sniffing as she got off her bike. Cynthia put the newspaper in a basket and took the bike from her, walking it toward the garage. You're lonely. You miss your home and your friends back in California? Were you able to at least bring a dog with you or something? My little brother's allergic to everything. I don't have any pets. Well, I have a dog you're just about to meet, Cynthia told her, who's going to love you a lot. Her name is Ashette, and she is a diabolical snacker, but she's very sweet and has nice eyes. I don't want to force myself on you. You're not. Just be forewarned, we have some strange people walking around and everybody's wicked hungover. Do you like Tab? I love Tab, Katie said. Okay, we'll get a Tab and go up to my room. That should be safe. I've got the new John Lennon album up there and we can listen to it. They went into the kitchen. Wow, that's a lot of money, Katie said, spotting the money on the counter Mrs. Pottinger had given her. You sure you want to leave it all out there like that? Oh, my mother has to figure out how to deal with it. Katie looked at her. Can I use your bathroom? Sure, there's one in here. Cynthia led the way into the den. Oops. She put on the brakes. Mr. Gagliardi was stretched out on the sofa. Cynthia turned to Katie, pressed a finger over her mouth. Katie nodded and followed her. Then she scooted into the powder room and silently closed the door. Cynthia tiptoed toward the dining room. Was Mr. Watson still in there? Oh, this was crazy. Why did she bring Katie into the house? She couldn't tell her to leave. She was crying out there. Cynthia was so tired, she was going to start crying in a minute. In the refrigerator, she found a bottle of Tab, opened it, snagged 2 glasses, and waited for Katie to come out. When she appeared, she looked upset. I've got my period, she whispered, sounding miserable. Okay, come on, I've got some stuff upstairs you can use. They went to her room. Cynthia gave her a tampon. Katie confessed she felt like she was dying. Her cramps were so bad. So while she was in the bathroom, Cynthia tiptoed into her parents' room. Golly, it smelled like booze in here, and went into their bathroom to find some aspirin. When she came out, she grabbed the heating pad from the hall linen closet and took Katie into her room. "Is that for me?" Katie asked, looking at the heating pad. When Cynthia nodded, Katie kissed her on the cheek. "Thank you. You're a lifesaver." Cynthia poured her some tab to take the aspirin with and went around to the far side of the bed to plug in the heating pad. She dropped it on the bed and fetched the throw pillow she always used to curl up around when she had cramps. "Okay, this is your side," she announced, coming back around. "Do you want something to read? Because I'm wiped out, Katie, and I need to take a nap. I've got an old 17 magazine, I think, but I do have a new Alfred Hitchcock." "How about that?" Katie asked, pointing to the female eunuch on the nightstand. "I've heard about that book." "Sure." Cynthia tossed it onto the bed. She watched as Katie walked around it, hand on her abdomen. She was hurting. There was a sound at the door. "Oh, that's Ashette," Cynthia whispered. She let her in, walked her over to the bed, and patted it. She wanted elevator service from Cynthia. Cynthia slid both her arms under Ashette to pick her up and put her on the bed. Ashette was surprised to see a stranger. Katie had kicked off her shoes and was stretched out on her side, pulling the heating pad and pillow tight against her. "She's so cute," Katie said. "Does she sleep with you?" "Sometimes with me, sometimes with my mom." Katie extended a hand towards Ashette, who sniffed it and promptly rolled over onto her back. "She wants you to rub her tummy." Katie did, smile growing wider by the second. She knew Katie would like Ashette. Cynthia lay down, scrunching a pillow under her head, watching Katie pet Ashette. Within seconds, she was sound asleep. "Oh," her mother said. Cynthia opened her eyes. Her mother looked at Katie and whispered, "Who is that?" "Katie Langston," she whispered back. "The girl from California?" "Yeah, she had really bad cramps." "Well, it's nearly 1 o'clock, dear," her mother told her in a very tired, sing-songy voice. "Evan was released from Yale New Haven this morning, and he's home. He wants you to call him. And a boy named Clay called to see if you had changed your mind about the movies tonight. And there's bacon and scrambled eggs in the kitchen and some freshly squeezed orange juice in the refrigerator, but please don't mix it up with what's left of the mimosas in a pitcher." She disappeared. "Wait a minute," Cynthia whispered, rolling out of bed. "Mom, hello? I have a few questions." "So do I," her mother called. "Why is there $34 lying out on the kitchen counter?" "Maybe Arabella left a tip," her father said, emerging from their steamy bathroom with just a towel on. It was always a shock for Cynthia to see her father without clothes on because he had a golfer's tan, which meant the trunk of his body was so white it was fluorescent. "Pottingers didn't get home until 3 o'clock, Cynthia began. 3 o'clock, her mother exclaimed. "They said they were coming home at 11:30, I thought." "That's what she said, but they came in after 3, and she was smashed, and she just pushed all that money into my hands and went upstairs." "Why, you have to give it back, Cynthia." "It's not like I've had a chance, Mom. Of course I'll give it back, but not what she owes me." "You still owe me that $1.50, her father said, opening the underwear drawer of his tall boy dresser. "And you guys need to tell me why Mimi and Mr. Watson didn't go into New York, why Mr. Gagliardi was sleeping under the dining room table when I got home, and why Mrs. Watson was up here smoking pot." "She was smoking pot up here?" her mother said. "Jesus Christ," her father said. "We could have been arrested, taking an undershirt and boxer shorts into the bathroom with him. And she told me you were a bitch, Mom. And then she locked herself in here until I woke Mimi up, tell her, get her out of here." "Arabella locked herself in here?" "Yep." Her mother sat down at her makeup table and held her head in her hands. I didn't believe Mr. Watson had the story straight about what was going on down the street. And it turns out he didn't. She dropped her hand. A lot of what he thought was the truth was flat out wrong. The telephone rang. Wearily, her mother reached back to answer it with a very low energy, "Hello?" "Oh, hello, Patsy. I'm extremely hungover, to be perfectly honest." She laughed. "You too? I'm sorry to hear that. The dinner wasn't much fun, I take it." She looked over at Cynthia, her eyebrows rising while she listened. "I see. Oh, dear. Of course he was disappointed. But you made it home all right." She lowered the phone from her mouth. "Mr. Pottinger brought you home this morning with no problems?" "No problems," Cynthia said, wondering if she would consider Mr. Pottinger driving like Mr. Magoo a problem. "Oh, Patsy, I was wondering where all that money came from." "Oh, please. It happens to the best of us. Cynthia, how long were you there?" 5 to 3:30, she answered. 8.5 hours. 8.5 hours, she reported. "Oh, that's very generous of you, Patsy." "All right. Cynthia will keep 10 then, and we'll put 26 in an envelope and leave it in the mailbox so you can pick it up whenever it's convenient for you, okay?" "No, not a problem. We'll do it right now." "Okay, dear. Feel better. Bye-bye." She hung up the phone. "Mrs. Pottinger is very embarrassed," she reported, "because she gave you what was her entire household allowance." "Did Mr. Pottinger get the promotion?" "No. She said he took it well, though. Except he turned into Mr. Magoo," Cynthia thought. "So, Mom, what's happening with Mimi?" "First, run that $26 out to the mailbox, will you, sweetie? Put it in an envelope, write her name on it." The bathroom door opened. Her father was in his underwear and he had shaving cream all over his face. "My razor's missing." "I certainly didn't take it," her mother said. "Cynthia?" "Not me. I don't want to be grounded for 10 years. "Well, it has to be somewhere," her father said, irritated. "I'm all lathered up." "Mimi wouldn't have taken it, would she?" her mother asked. "I don't know. Maybe Mrs. Watson took it." "Lord, give me strength," her father said, going back into the bathroom. "Check the guest room, sweetie, will you?" "Well, Mrs. Watson's not still in there, is she?" "No, your father took all the Watsons home. I made them breakfast first. That was before I knew Arabella told my youngest child I was a bitch. Such a bitch," Cynthia accentuated. "Look for the razor, will you, please?" Cynthia found the razor on the side of the guest bathroom tub and brought it to her father. "Thanks. I'll put a new blade in." "So, Mom, what was all that about Mr. Gagliardi moving in?" "Mr. Watson was wrong about that. He said he knew for sure they were sleeping together." Her mother looked at her. "You were eavesdropping yesterday. Cynthia, well, it's not like anyone's going to tell me what's going on around here." Her mother sighed. "Mr. Gagliardi was staying in the Watsons' pool house while his floors were being revarnished. And with all the rain this week, they wouldn't dry." "I thought that sounded a little fishy," her father called from the bathroom. "I hope for Mimi's sake, though, it's true." "So who told Mr. Watson they were sleeping together?" Her father peeked around the corner at her mother. "My money's on Arabella." "But that's so messed up," Cynthia cried. "Why would somebody torture their own kid like that?" "I'm going to torture my own kid," her mother said, "if she doesn't get that money into the mailbox for Mrs. Pottinger. Now go." All right, I'm going." She stopped on the way to peek into her room. Katie was asleep and so was Ashette. Cynthia went downstairs, dutifully counted the money, kept her $10. Yes, $10! She could get cigarettes and beer or Boone's Farm apple wine. She could go to the movies. She could get pizza. The world was alive with possibility. She looked in the junk drawer for an envelope and Scotch tape. She wrote Mrs. Pottinger on the envelope, put the money into it, licked the flap, and Scotch taped it to make sure it was closed. It was pouring rain again. She bet the Billie Jean King Chrissy Everett match at Forest Hills was going to be delayed again. Every day, everything was getting delayed. She picked up a piece of bacon to eat on her way to the front door. She took one of the umbrellas out of the stand and opened it on the front porch, dashed down to the mailbox, found there was a bunch of mail in it, so she had to juggle the umbrella to take it out. Then she had to switch hands again to get the envelope out of her robe pocket and put it in the mailbox. She managed to keep the mail dry on her way back. She shook the umbrella outside the front door, stuck it back into the stand, and whirled around, nearly crashing into Mr. Gagliardi. "Whoa," he said, steadying her. "Where did you come from?" "I was outside. Where did you come from?" "Oh, I was just trying to help straighten the living room out a little." "You were lying under the dining room table when I got home." "I don't know what to tell you," he said, following her into the kitchen, "but your father makes one hell of a martini." "I'm glad I don't have to be mad at you," Cynthia told him, dumping the mail on the kitchen counter. "Everybody thought you were having an affair with Mrs. Watson, and I was ready to scream at you." "It would have been nice if someone had asked me," he said. "Oh," he groaned, looking at the clock. "Look at the time." "Do you want a mimosa?" she asked. "There's supposed to be some in the fridge." "Okay, why not?" he said, sinking into a chair at the table and holding his face in his hands. People were doing a lot of that this morning. She took out the crystal pitcher and smelled it. Orange juice, champagne, triple sec, mimosa. She poured him a glass and half a glass for herself. She set his glass firmly down on the table in front of him, prompting him to raise his head. "Cheers," she told him, lifting her glass. His eyes went to her glass for a second, but he didn't say anything. "Cheers," he said, clinking his glass with hers, and then they both downed their drinks. The champagne was flat, which Cynthia thought made it easier to drink. It was such a luxury to have something alcoholic that was cold. She and her friends were always drinking warm beer and wine, except in the winter, which was something to look forward to. She lifted the lid from the electric skillet. "I have to reheat the scrambled eggs, but there's a lot here. Do you want some?" She turned the skillet on. "Sure," he said, "thanks." He was holding his face again. "I have a friend upstairs," she explained, "and I want to give her 2 pieces of bacon, which means you and I only get 1 each, okay?" "That's fine." "Oh, no. We only have 1 slice of bread. And 2 heels. All right, well, we each can have a heel, and I'll give my guest the good piece, I guess." "That's 1 lucky guest," he told her with a laugh. "We just get the scraps." After a moment, he said, "Cynthia, did you really think I was fooling around with Mrs. Watson? You've met my girlfriend." "All I knew was Mr. Watson came home from California very upset, and he was taking Mimi with him to live in Manhattan." She put out 2 mats on the table, 2 napkins and forks. "So yes, I thought you were." "Makes me angry," he said, looking around in agitation. "Angry that no one around here thinks I have any morals." "Oh, I think Mom wanted to think you had morals, but when she found out last night your truck was hidden in the Watsons' garage—" "It wasn't hidden," he said. "It was in there because it was pouring rain and nobody was using the bay. Next thing I knew, your father is shining a flashlight in my eyes, telling me I had to leave with him right that second and defend my reputation." Cynthia calmly buttered the heels of toast, cut them in half, put them on plates, scooped some eggs, and turned off the electric skillet. She put his plate down in front of him and brought over the salt and pepper shakers. "Thanks," he said. "You're welcome." She sat down with her plate and started eating. "Mrs. Watson was smoking dope upstairs when I got home, and she told me my mother was a bitch." Mr. Gagliardi said, "She doesn't like your mother much." Why? He swallowed. I think she makes her feel guilty about what a rotten mother she is. He started piling scrambled eggs on his toast. Do you think she's a rotten mother? Uh-huh, but she's got more money than God, so I keep my mouth shut. He put his fork down. She's paying me very, very well to do a lot of specialty work. And it's not easy learning all this ultraviolet light stuff, tempered glass, heat buffers, humidifier systems. I might as well be working at a museum. So you're just there doing it for the money? You've met my girlfriend, Cynthia. I've brought her to your Christmas parties a couple of times. Diane. He took a huge bite of his egg-laden toast. She teaches in Westport, right? He nodded. What does she teach? He swallowed, bringing his napkin up to wipe his mouth. History. I'm fixing up my house because I want to get married. It's time. We both want to get married and have some kids. Cynthia smiled. That's what Mom and Dad think, that it's time. What does Dad think? Her father asked, coming in to stand behind Mr. Gagliardi. He rested a hand on his shoulder. You did good, Paul. Kept your cool, diffused all the nonsense, and shed a lot of light. But get out of her pool house, that's my advice, he said, patting his back one more time and moving away. Where's the newspaper? Oh, Cynthia said, jumping up. It's in the garage. I'll go get it. She ran down to the garage, getting soaked, tucked the newspaper inside her robe to keep that dry. She needed to take a shower anyway. When she returned to the kitchen, her mother was there too. Her father took the paper from her and shook it out. Oh, look at this, Liz, he said, holding out the front page. So that's the prison? Attica, yes. 1,000 prisoners rioting. 33 hostages taken. While he continued to read, he opened the refrigerator and took out a can of Schlitz beer. Want a beer, Paul? No, thanks. Her father cracked the can open and sipped as he wandered into the den, murmuring, how did they do it? The doorbell rang. Sweetie, her mother said, could you? Cynthia went to the front door and opened it. Aye, Clay Seaton said, standing under an umbrella and raising a hand in greeting. When you didn't call me back, I thought maybe I should stop in and see if you're mad at me or something. He pointed with his thumb to the car in the driveway. My brother gave me a ride over. Why would I be mad at you? She asked him. I don't know, he shrugged. I couldn't figure out why you wouldn't call me back, and it bothered me. Oh, he really did like her. The telephone started ringing. I just thought the movie would be fun, he told her. It's supposed to be really good, scary, but my brother's girlfriend's talking about the Barbra Streisand movie that's at the Norwalk Drive-In. On a clear day you can see forever, Cynthia said. Right. And then love stories on after that. You know, girl movies. They laughed. I mean, if that made a difference to you, if I took you to see those movies, I could be persuaded to go. My brother really does have to take his girlfriend sometime, and I just like the junk food, so I'm fine. I mean, I like you too, Cynthia, and you'd make it fun for me, no matter what movie was playing. That was so sweet. He was so earnest, handsome, and earnest. Oh, she'd give anything to go. Her heart was pounding. I'm afraid I already asked a friend to spend the night tonight. So invite her to come, Clay said. Who is it, Annabelle? No, a new girl. She just moved here from California. A spark flared in his eyes. Oh, Katie Langston. I would think she's going out with Teddy tonight. No, she's not going out with Teddy. Let me ask her if she wants to go, but I suspect she'll say three's a crowd. It's just a movie, Clay said. Right, we don't have to get married. They laughed. Okay, I'll ask her. She's upstairs. But why don't you come in out of the rain? And your brother can come in too. No, we can't stay. We really have to get going. Well, let me see what Katie says. See what Katie says about what? Katie asked, coming down the stairs. Hi, she said to Clay, standing next to Cynthia. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. This is Clay Seaton, Cynthia told her, and he was wondering if we wanted to go to the drive-in tonight. His brother's going, and he's got a license. On a clear day, you can see Forever and Love Story are playing. Her face lit up. Oh, that would be so cool. Dying to see those. But wait, I'm not sure if I have enough money to go. I have enough money for both of us, Cynthia assured her. I was going to take you, Clay said to Cynthia. I did a lot of caddying last weekend, so why don't I pay for you and you can cover Katie? I can't let her do that, Katie said. Why not? Cynthia said. Look at it this way. You've traveled 3,000 miles to go to the movies with us tonight. That wonderful laugh. She hoped Clay didn't fall for her. Though if he did, she wouldn't blame him. Come in and meet my parents, Clay, because it sounds like we're going. Yay, he said. He cleared his throat. Okay, let me look trustworthy and respectable. They walked into the kitchen. Mom, I want you to meet Clay Seaton. Clay, hello, I spoke to you earlier, wiping her hands on a dish towel before accepting his handshake. How very nice it is to meet you. She liked him already, Cynthia could tell. Well, he was so cute, who wouldn't? Mr. Gagliardi stood up. Hello, Clay. Mr. Gagliardi, Clay said, clearly happy to see him. They shook hands. Clay and I occasionally do a little volunteer work together, Mr. Gagliardi said, doing repairs for people with disabilities. We do it through the church. Well, that's wonderful, her mother said. Mr. Gagliardi looked at Clay. So are you playing football for BHS this year? Running back on varsity, Cynthia said, and quarterback on JV. Substitute running back on varsity, Clay said. Still impressive, Mr. Gagliardi said, nodding. When's the first game? Friday at home against Staples. Uh-oh, Cynthia said, that's Westport. You're playing Mr. Gagliardi's girlfriend's school. Her mother looked at her. Diane, Cynthia said. She's been to our Christmas parties. Listen to this, Mr. Schylers said from the doorway to the den. The attempt made by state troopers to take back the corridors of Cell Block A was unsuccessful because the convicts succeeded in welding together the steel bar separating certain segments of the cell block gates. Attica Prison, right? Clay said. Yes, that was Cell Block A. Listen to this. In addition to holding all of Cell Block D in the southeastern corner of the prison, prisoners are in control of much of Cell Block B in the northeastern corner and reputedly control all of the catwalks connecting the blocks and the main guard tower, which sit atop the intersection of the catwalks directly in the center of the 4 separate prison yards. Those prison yards make up something they call Times Square. Prison's 55 acres. Look at this map. Clay and Cynthia's mother walked over to look at it. Bill, Cynthia's mother said, this is Cynthia's friend Clay Seaton. Mr. Schuyler looked at him. If your father's first name is Harry, I know him. His name is Harry, Clay confirmed. Huh. We served together on the board of New York Junior Achievement. Right, Clay said. He enjoys that. So do I, her father said. Dad says the products the kids come up with are ingenious. They are. It's just great to watch them. They learn so much. In the next minute, he and Clay were hunched over the newspaper together on the counter, pointing things out on the map of the prison. Her father liked Clay, too. Hey, Cynthia, Katie softly called across the kitchen. Oh, there you are, Cynthia said. Where did you go? I have breakfast for you. I'm still at the front door talking. Ask Clay if there's room for one more at the drive-in tonight. Cynthia walked over and asked him. Gosh, 4 people in the back seat, Clay said. You kids are going to the drive-in? Her father asked. Yes. I don't think we can fit 6 in my brother's car, Cynthia. Your brother's got his license, Cynthia's father said. Clay grinned. Yes, that's Harry's other son, Patrick. He's in the driveway if you want to meet him. Why don't you have your brother leave his car here tonight and take our wagon? It's a country squire. It's got plenty of room. It'll take 6 of you easy. Really? Clay said, excited. Oh, that would be great. Any son of Harry's is a friend of mine, her father told him. But who's the 6th person? Cynthia asked Clay. I don't know. You'll have to ask Katie. The smile faded. I hope it's not Teddy. Cynthia's smile faded too. I hope not either. Clay's eyes moved to her. You don't like Teddy? Oh, I like him. It's just the hero worship thing. Sometimes I get the feeling Teddy's just pretending to be a nice guy, if that makes any sense. It makes sense, Clay said. He's got a temper. Really? I didn't know that. Yeah, it's a problem. For me, anyway. What am I going to do? He's the captain. I hope you'll continue being a nice guy, Cynthia told him. He glanced down at her mouth, and she thought he might kiss her. There weren't 5 people in the room. If it is Teddy, we tell Katie, sorry, we don't have room, okay? If it's anyone else, we'll take the wagon, okay? Good thinking, Lincoln, she told him. I'll go find out who mystery person number 6 is. She made her way to the front door, where Katie was talking a mile a minute to someone outside. Katie turned around. Can we do it? Fit another one in the car? Not if whoever it is as big as Teddy. Oh, it's not Teddy, Katie said quickly. Who is it? Hey, remember me? Evan said, stepping in to kiss her. Oh, Cynthia. You don't know it, dear, but this is called an embarrassment of riches. Not one boyfriend, but 2. How terrific. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I get such joy out of doing this, and I hope you do too. Now, I want you to remember, we don't drink and drive anymore. Ever. But we do have fun. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you next Friday.